everyone, and welcome to Tamriel's Tales. So today we're reading Blessed Almalexia's Fables for Morning, which is part of a 3-part series of all of Almalexia's fables. I just personally think these are really cute and wanted to read them, so let's just go ahead and get into it. The Tallest Shroom Beetle. A shroom beetle, lamenting its small stature, crawled to the top of a great mushroom. It gazed out over the ashlands and cried, "Ha! There is no shroom beetle taller than I. There is nothing I cannot see." Just then, a cliff racer swooped down and plucked the beetle from its perch. The beast grinned a wide, toothy grin, and said, "Had you stayed on the ground, I never would have seen you. Is it not better to be short than dead?" Alas, the beetle learned too late that forsaking one's nature brings nothing but ruin. The Tale of Two Herders. 2 guar herders met in the market square, preparing to sell their stock. The shorter of the two laughed at the other and jeered, "You bring only 1 guar to market? Look upon my herd. I have brought 10 and 20 and stand to make a fortune." The tall herder merely shook his head. "You may have 10 and 20 guars, but they are scrawny and frail. Better to have 1 steady beast than 100 sickly ones." The short herder released an oafish chuckle and prepared to usher his beasts into the pens. Just then, a great ash storm arrived, and pummeled the market with howling winds and choking fumes. Eventually the storm relented. The tall herder and his great strong guar were unharmed, but the short herder's guars were thrown this way and that, and not one of them had survived. "Do you see now, my friend?" the tall herdsman said. "Numbers are no substitute for quality." The Friendly Alit. A jovial alit pranced across the ashlands, ever watchful for a beast it could call friend. Presently it came upon a nix hound, who was preening itself in an ash pit. The alit smiled a great smile and cried out, "Greetings, friend!" The nix hound, seeing the alit's huge teeth, panicked and dashed under a rock. The alit sighed and pranced on. In due course it came upon a Vardvark, rooting through a beetle nest. "Hello!" the alit shouted, smiling widely, and revealing its huge, sharp teeth. The Vardvark squealed in terror, and scampered off into the bushes. The alit released another mournful sigh, and trundled on toward the shore. Finally, it spotted an ashhopper rolling in the sand. The alit summoned up its widest, most cheerful smile and said, "Hail, ashhopper!" The ashhopper leapt back in horror and sprung away as fast as it could. The alit was heartbroken. "I will never have a friend as long as I have these terrible teeth," it hissed. The beast resolved to be done with them altogether. It took a huge rock in its mouth and bit down hard, knocking out all its teeth like a box of loose nails. Finally it sighed, "Other beasts will no longer be afraid." Just then a great Kagudi arrived, stomping its feet and preparing to pounce. The alit growled and opened its wide jaws to frighten the predator away, but the Kagudi just laughed. "You fool! You've no teeth left in your head." The alit realized its folly too late. The Kagudi lunged and swallowed the cheerful beast in one huge gulp. So you see, child, that which we hate in ourselves is often our greatest gift. Vivek and the Cripple. Lord Vivek, while walking down a road, came upon a cripple with a gnarled and withered hand. "Young Bravo!" the cripple cried. "Will you not help an oathman in need?" Vivek stood before the cripple and furrowed his brow. "What is wrong with you, old Mer?" he queried. The cripple lifted his hand and replied, "Do you not see my withered hand? It is twisted as old roots and pains me greatly when the storms roll in. Women shun me because of its ugliness, and children run at the sight of it. Please have pity." Vivek stood quiet for a moment, then drew his bright sword and severed the Mer's hand in one clean stroke. The cripple howled in pain as the warrior poet dressed the wound. "Do not bawl so, old Mer," said Vivek. "Do you not see that I have done you the greatest kindness? Better to be done with an evil than to carry it on for pity's sake." Thank you so much for listening today. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to support this podcast, maybe consider supporting my Ko-fi, Patreon, or Throne, all of which can be found by searching Tamriel with the extra LE at the end. If you're interested in watching the stories of the games, maybe check out my playthroughs on my YouTube, Tamriel. Or if you'd just like to see what I'm up to, you can find my Twitter and Instagram at xtamriel, just with the extra little X at the beginning. Thank you so much for listening again, and I hope you have a lovely rest of your day.